Miami is being rebuilt. The $10 billion transformation changing the city forever. Miami is not just growing, it's being rebuilt. And most people still don't understand what's really happening. They see new towers, cranes, and headlines, but they're missing the bigger picture. Miami is transforming from a lifestyle city into a global financial and investment hub. And that shift is changing everything: the skyline, the infrastructure, the kind of money coming in, and the kind of opportunities being created. So stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to break down exactly what's happening in Miami, why it matters, and how to think about it strategically. And at the end, I'm also going to give you access to a free PDF download of my book, Miami's Pre-Construction Blueprint, so you can better understand how to navigate this market. My name is Guillermo Teran, broker associate with Avanti Way Realty, Miami pre-construction specialist, founder of the pre-construction community, and author of the book Miami's Pre-Construction Blueprint. I've been in the Miami real estate market for over 30 years, and I can tell you this very clearly. What's happening in Miami right now is not a normal cycle. This is not just appreciation, this is not just population growth, and this is not just hype. This is a structural transformation of the city. Miami is shifting from lifestyle city to capital city. For years, Miami was known for weather, beaches, lifestyle, and second homes. That was the story. But today, Miami is becoming much more than that. It is becoming a place where capital wants to live, where companies want to build presence, and where serious wealth is being repositioned. That's why when companies like Citadel move their headquarters to Miami, that matters. That is not a symbolic move. That is capital making a long-term decision. And one of the key signals that supported that shift was the arrival of institutional-grade office product in Brickell. Buildings like 830 Brickell changed the conversation because Miami finally had the kind of product major financial firms expect: serious architecture, serious systems, prestige, and presence. That matters because cities do not become financial hubs by marketing themselves into it. They become financial hubs by building the kind of product that capital demands. That's exactly what Miami is doing. The skyline is not just getting taller, it's getting more global. Most people don't realize that Miami already has one of the biggest skylines in the United States. But what it lacked for years was a deeper collection of global statement towers. That's changing now. Projects like Waldorf Astoria Miami, Okan Tower, and Cipriani Residences are pushing the city into a new category. This is not just about height, it's about identity. A skyline tells the world what a city believes it is. And right now, Miami is telling the world that it intends to compete at a much higher level. There's also an important layer here that many people miss. Because of flight paths from Miami International Airport, there are height constraints in parts of the city. So when developers are building right up toward those limits, that tells you they are extracting the maximum potential out of the land. That is a mature city behavior. That is not random growth. That is deliberate urban evolution. Miami is also becoming a showcase for branded luxury. Then you have another layer of the story: branded real estate. This is where Miami becomes even more interesting. Projects tied to hospitality brands, luxury names, and even automotive brands are changing the buyer experience. Bentley Residences is one of the best examples. Private car elevator, private pools, a product that is not just luxurious, but differentiated. That matters because in a global market, premium pricing is not just about location anymore. It's about uniqueness, experience, and brand identity. Miami is no longer just selling square footage. It is selling lifestyle, status, design, and global relevance. The Miami River may be one of the biggest transformations in the city. Now let's talk about one of the most important transformations happening in Miami: the Miami River. For decades, much of that area was industrial, functional, working waterfront, fuel depots, cargo operations, marine activity. It served a purpose, but it was not viewed as premium real estate. Now that same land is being reimagined into mixed-use waterfront districts, residential towers, marinas, restaurants, and walkable public spaces. And this is one of the clearest examples of how wealth is created in real estate. The land did not change. What changed was the economic use of the land. That is a huge concept. Because when a city upgrades the purpose of its land, the value can change dramatically. That is exactly what we are seeing in the Miami River corridor. And for people trying to understand where the city is going, this is not a minor detail. This is one of the clearest signals of Miami's evolution. Infrastructure is the part most people ignore. Now let's talk about the part of the story that I think is massively underrated: infrastructure. Because towers alone do not transform a city. Infrastructure does. One of the biggest examples is Miami International Airport. This is already one of the most important international gateways in the country, especially for Latin America. And now it is being expanded and upgraded while continuing to operate. That's important. Because airports are not just transportation assets. Airports are economic engines. More routes, more access, more connectivity, more international traffic, more business flow, more tourism, more relocation, more investment. That all affects real estate. A city with stronger global access becomes more attractive not just to travelers, but to companies, investors, and people looking to reposition themselves. Miami is also improving quality of life infrastructure. The underline is another example of that. It improves walkability, connectivity, and how people experience the city. These things matter. People often underestimate how parks, transit-adjacent improvements, and urban connectivity can affect value over time. But they do. And when you combine better infrastructure with capital migration and new development, you start to see the bigger picture. Miami is not just adding buildings, it is upgrading the machine. Miami is building for the demand that is still arriving. This is the idea I really want people to understand. Most cities build based on the economy they already have. Miami is building for the economy that is still arriving. That is why so many people misread the market. They look at current headlines and think they understand the whole story. But the deeper story is that Miami is positioning itself ahead of future demand. And not just any demand, higher income demand, more international demand, more business-driven demand, more cash-driven demand. That is why product selection matters so much. Not all inventory is equal, not all buildings are equal, and not all opportunities are equal. This is one of the reasons pre-construction matters, because if you understand where the city is going, pre-construction becomes less about speculation and more about positioning. You are not just buying what Miami is today, you are buying into what Miami is becoming. So if you've been thinking about moving to Miami, investing in Miami, or just trying to better understand how this city is evolving, this is exactly why strategy matters. My team and I have helped hundreds of families, buyers, and investors navigate the Miami market, understand pre-construction, and make smarter decisions based on where the city is actually going. And as I promised at the beginning of the video, I want to give you access to a free PDF download of my book, Miami's Pre-Construction Blueprint. The link is below. It will help you understand the pre-construction process, how to think about opportunities in Miami, and how to avoid some of the mistakes people make when they enter this market without the right guidance. If this video gave you value, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's thinking about Miami. And if you have questions about relocating, investing, or pre-construction opportunities, reach out to me directly. Because Miami is not waiting, it's being rebuilt right now. See you in the next video.